Hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop1970. This is my review for today. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well, I want to let you know is I'm very sorry that I haven't done a movie review for a while, since I was too busy on my top 5 list. Some top 5 lists that nobody has never done before. And, you know me, I enjoy those top 5 lists that nobody has never done before, and I hope and pray that they will do it in the near future whenever they're ready. But anyway, ladies and dudes, I'm just going to take the top 5 list a very big break, and I'm going to move on to some movie reviews that I haven't done yet. And so, for my next movie review is Castle in the Sky, and this is one of the best 80s films of all time back in Japan. I mean, this movie is really good, and I'm just borrowing this from the library, if you know what I mean. So, without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my 15th movie review of Castle in the Sky. So the movie starts off with a very young, mysterious girl named Shita. She's all alone, all by herself. All of her family members are gone. You know, I think they died from a disease or something, and she's going to try really hard to take care of herself and take care of the animals while she lives in a place called Gondola. And while she is trying to start her life all over again, this very unfaithful day, she got kidnapped by a group of the evil government people. And they want to use her for some unknown reason to learn about to learn something and discover a very mysterious place that came from in the sky, called Laputa. And they also found out that she is one of the long-lost princesses who had never lived in the place called Laputa. And the only way to find this place is a very small, mysterious crystal that has a very unknown, mysterious, magical powers. A power that's way too dangerous for anybody to handle. And to tell you the truth, the government are not the only ones who want to know the secrets and the discovery of Laputa. There's a group of pirates who are going after Sheeta and the Crystal as well. So Sheeta had no choice but to escape and try to find somewhere that she could hide for a while before she could find a way to be safe again. And the only hope that she can be safe is by a very young, normal human boy named Patu, who is a very cool young boy who also took care of himself and tried to start his life all over again. And he made a promise to Sheeta that he will protect her for the rest of his life. So, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, there's only a couple of questions remain in this movie. Will ever Patsu and Sheeta will try to save themselves from the evil government and the pirates, or will they ever know about the mysterious discovery of Laputa, or something else that involves from Castle in the Sky? So anyway, ladies and dudes, that's my whole entire plot of Castle in the Sky, and I don't want to take too many things away about it. So anyway, ladies and dudes, what the heck do I think about this movie? Duh! I freaking love it! It is a pretty darn good movie. It had a good storyline, great characters, except for one. It has great animation, great score. I love all the details about this movie, and so many good stuff that involves great animation, great score, and everything else. So let's go on to the strongest points and the weakest points of the movie. So I will say the strongest points of the movie is a tie. It's a tie between the animation and the details. First off, let's go on to the animation. It is so darn well done. It's very nice, very fast-paced. I love all the colors for each of the characters, and something about something in the sky or the town or anything else, I will say it is pretty darn well done in its own right. After all, Hayao Miyazaki is the master of making fantastic animation for each of the movies that he did for so many years to come. And as for the details, I love all sorts of details in this movie. I love the part with the robot when it comes to life, or the part in the cave where there's something magical happens when the cave starts to glow, or something about the final Lapita place that came from in the sky, or so much more. I love all sorts of details of this movie, and it is pretty darn well done in its own right. And now let's go on to the most weakest point of the movie. And this is the most disappointing thing of all. It is the main villain called Muska. I frickin' hate Muska. He's one of the worst characters I have ever seen in my life. He's very arrogant, he's very spoiled, and he's way too darn evil for my taste. And the biggest problem I have with this character, that he is a frickin' child molester. And I'm sure nobody had never heard this before, is, what did Hayao Miyazaki create a villain who's a frickin' child molester? And there were some parts here and there where Muska was child molesting poor Sheeta. Well, for the way he talks, I guess. I mean, this guy is a freak! Oh man, this is so disappointing, and I can't believe Mark Hamill played that character when he dubbed this movie. To tell you the truth is, I rather prefer Mark Hamill playing the Joker for Batman instead of him playing Muska for Castle in the Sky. I mean, this is gonna give me a headache. I mean, for real. Why did Hayao Miyazaki make a child molesting character that is... And that's it. I will say, yeah, Muska is definitely the most weakest point in the movie. So anyway, ladies and dudes, that's my strongest points and the weakest points of Castle in the Sky. And now let's go on to the other good characters who are definitely the most likable or the memorable characters I do enjoy of this movie. First off, let's go with this old dude named Uncle Palm. I will say Uncle Palm is a really awesome character, and it's a shame that he had a short role in this film. And he was freaking awesome. And I think he's one of the coolest anime characters who does believe in science. I mean, he found some good discovery when he was in a cave and he showed Patsu and Sheeta about the mysterious glow that the cave can do. It's pretty darn magical. Seeing the cave scene was definitely the most magical part of the movie. It was so darn magical. Maybe one of the best magical scenes I have ever seen in my life in a Miyazaki film. Uncle Paul rocks! And as for Patsu and Sheeta, they were definitely the most mature characters I have ever seen in this film. Well, especially for Patsu. I think Patsu is definitely the most mature character ever in this movie. As for Sheeta, she has some mature things too that I will never forget. They are very smart, they're very brave, they know how to take care of themselves while they're in grave danger on their adventures. It was so freaking awesome, and I really do enjoy the English dub for Castle in the Sky. I think those two people did do a pretty good job. Even the guy who played Potts, who had a very older voice, if you know what I mean. I need to maybe one day I'll go back and rewatch the Japanese dub, and since that female actress who did Krillin from Dragon Ball Z, she was the one who played Patsu. And I think she did an okay job, I guess. And now let's go on to my most favorite character in the movie. And she is definitely the funniest one of all, is Dala. I freaking love Dala. She was so awesome. She is one of the best lead female captain characters I have ever seen in a Miyazaki film. She is so darn funny. She's very entertaining. I love her couple of lines. And she is definitely the most memorable character I have ever seen in this movie. I mean, she is so freaking memorable in her own right. And I will say, Cloris Leachman has the rights to play this most funniest character that she had ever done in her career. And yeah, she was also in Ponyo 2, where she played one of Sasuke's friends, if you know what I mean. I will say Dala was the best character in the whole entire movie. Hands down. And now, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my final thoughts of Castle in the Sky. Overall, Castle in the Sky was a fantastic movie. It had a good storyline, has memorable or likable characters, except for one. I love the animation, I love the score, I love all the details of this movie, and this is one of the best Hayao Miyazaki films that I ever watched that came from in the 80s. So, for my rating 1 to 10, I decided to give it a 9 out of 10. This is one of the best movies ever, and you gotta watch it to believe it. And so, ladies and dudes, that is my movie review of Castle in the Sky. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I did the best I could for it. Once again, like I said, I always had trouble making up a sentence or two, but I will try to make up some good ones later on in the future. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, and join me next time. I just hope and pray I will do my next movie review of Tron Legacy, and that will come very, very soon. So anyway, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobom 827. Sayonara!